All right, so a guardian ad litem has been appointed in your custody case here in Alabama. In this video, I'm going to go over what that means for you and what you need to do now. So first of all, what is a guardian ad litem? A guardian ad litem is a court-appointed lawyer. It is a lawyer just like the wife's lawyer, just like the husband's lawyer. They represent the child. The difference is for the husband's lawyer or the wife's lawyer, I represent the wishes of that particular party. Whereas the guardian ad litem represents the child's best interests, not the desires of the parent or even the desires of the child. It's their job to do what's in their best interest. So for instance, a 17-year-old may want to live with dad because dad's never at home and they have more freedom. Even though the 17-year-old wants to live with dad, that's not necessarily in the best interest of that child. Or maybe you have a 5-year-old that has always been connected to the mother and really loves the mother, but the mother has a drug addiction. The 5-year-old may want to live with mom, but that's not necessarily in the child's best interest. So it's the guardian ad litem's job to investigate and advocate for what is in that child's best interests. So why should you meet with the GAL? Meeting the GAL gives you a chance to share your perspective and discuss your relationship with your child. It allows you to explain the facts from your point of view to the GAL. The alternative would be the GAL could call your lawyer and then your lawyer call you and then you call the lawyer call back the GAL. Meeting with the GAL, it just makes things go a lot quicker. You can explain things probably more thorough than the lawyer can because the lawyer's only heard your perspective when you were in with them. And so it helps speed things up, it helps the GAL assess how you would react under cross-examination and makes things go smoother. Here's a warning though. Anything you share with the GAL is not confidential. The GAL is not your lawyer. So anything you tell your lawyer stays with me. I'm not to tell the court. I don't have to tell the court. Whereas if you tell the court or tell the GAL something, they are a mandatory reporter. If it's something that would be abuse or neglect, they would be required to tell not just the court, but authorities. And understand anything they say you say to the GAL could be used against you. So if you have any sensitive information, anything that could be possibly used against you, you probably need to talk to your lawyer to go over how to respond to that. And or your lawyer may talk to you and call the GAL and say, hey, we're not going to discuss this part of the case. You're welcome to talk to my client, but we're not going to talk about this particular part of the case. So you do not have to talk to the GAL. In fact, they're an attorney just like any other attorney, which means so the wife's attorney can't just call the husband's client and talk to him. Same thing for a GAL. However, as a general rule, the attorney will waive that privilege and allow you to talk to him. So what will the GAL do? They'll gather information, review documents, and interview those involved. They'll usually try to talk to the mom, talk to the dad, they'll talk to the child. A lot of times they'll go to the child's school. A lot of times they might do home visits, and then they will report to the court what their findings and recommendations are. Understand that you will be responsible for GAL fees. The court generally in their order will say this is the retainer for the GAL. It's either to be divided or they may even make one party pay for the fee if they're wealthier than the other party. They may make one party pay for it if they ask for the GAL, but you will likely be responsible for those fees. If you can't afford them at that time, a lot of times the GALs will work a payment plan with you. You've just got to talk to the GAL about that. Next step is if I've given you the go ahead and contact the GAL to schedule a meeting. Bring all the relevant documents that you have to go over with the GAL and keep your attorney updated on interactions with the GAL.